Chapter 21 Exile. Arjun returned after dispatching the robbers, ready to accept his penance. Yudhishthir and his other brothers tried to convince him otherwise, but Arjun was determined to accept the consequences of his action. 12 years in exile. Arjun left the kingdom and traveled across the lakes and into the forests. He eventually reached the source of the river Ganga. One morning, when Arjun was bathing in the river and performing his morning rituals, a powerful force grabbed him and took him under the water to the kingdom of Kauravas. It was the Naga princess Ulupi who had drawn him to the area. "O prince, I saw you when you entered the water and have fallen in love with you. I am unmarried and I desire a child. Grant me this wish, dear prince, and I will greatly reward you." Arjun was taken aback and resisted at first, but the power of the Naga princess had enthralled him. He married Ulupi, and sometime later she gave birth to a son named Iravan. Eventually, Arjun needed to continue his journey. Ulupi granted him the power to vanquish any amphibious creature and be invincible in water. Arjun thanked her and continued his pilgrimage, visiting many holy sites, descending the Himalayan slopes, passing the Mahendra mountains, continuing his trek along the coast, and eventually arriving in Manipur. In Manipur, he was welcomed by King Chitravana. The king had only one child, Chitrangada, who was trained as a warrior and was very beautiful. Arjun fell in love with her and asked the king for her hand in marriage. Chitravana agreed, but on the condition that the son born to them must remain in the kingdom and become the successor to the throne of Manipur. Arjun accepted, and he married Chitrangada in a grand wedding. The prince spent many years in Manipur, and after a son was born, he left the kingdom and continued his journey. His son was named Babruvahana, and he would become the king of Manipur when he reached maturity. Arjun then went down to the southern oceans and spent time with the ascetics. The ascetics told Arjuna that they had to abandon 5 ponds near the village due to the fierce crocodiles that lived there. Arjun traveled to the first pond and went into the water to have a bath. A giant crocodile grabbed him, but Arjun seized the crocodile and threw it out of the water. As soon as the crocodile landed on dry land, it transformed into a beautiful woman. The young maiden informed Arjun that she and her 4 companions were angels of heaven that had been cursed to live as crocodiles in the pond. The curse could only be broken by a mighty prince who could drag them out of the water. Arjun pulled the other 4 crocodiles out of the water and freed the maidens. The woman thanked him and returned to the heavens. Arjun continued his journey, eventually reaching Prabhasa, where he was met by a dear friend. Chapter 22 Dwarka. The news of Arjun's imminent arrival at Prabhasa had reached Lord Krishna, and he travelled out to meet the mighty prince. After joyous greetings, they left for Dwarka. The citizens of Dwarka were very eager to see Arjun, and they came in the hundreds of thousands to witness the arrival of the famous prince. Arjun spent many days in Krishna's palace. One day, Arjun saw a beautiful woman who captured his heart. Lord Krishna noticed this and approved. The woman's name was Subhadra, and she was the half-sister of Lord Krishna. Arjun conferred with Krishna as to how he could win the hand of Subhadra. "O mighty prince, a Swayamvara, a groom-choosing ceremony, is being planned for the princess. But one never knows what might be the outcome of such a process. You are a Kshatriya, a warrior prince, and as such, you could win her hand by abduction. This is permissible by Kshatriya law. Your grandfather Bhishma gained the hands of the princesses Ambika and Ambalika in this way. During a religious ceremony, having worshipped the king of the mountains and obtained the blessings of all the gods and all the Brahmanas, Subhadra circled the mountain and then set out to return to Dwarka. Arjun rushed at her and swooped her onto his chariot. Abducting the beautiful princess, Arjun raced away. Subhadra's guards were hopelessly unable to catch the prince. The elders of the Yadava clan were furious. Balram, Subhadra's brother, made plans to go out with a large army to capture the rogue prince. But all were curious as to the silence of Lord Krishna in the matter. "What are your thoughts on the situation, my lord?" asked Balram. "Arjun is the most supreme of Kshatriya princes. There is no better match for the princess Subhadra. If you attempt to capture him, the mighty Arjun will surely humiliate all your military forces. Heed my words. Accept the match. Bring Arjun and Subhadra back to Dwarka and have them married with all the proper rites and ceremony as befit the royal couple." Appeased by Lord Krishna's words, Arjun and Subhadra returned to Dwarka and were married. Arjun lived in Dwarka for a year, and the prince spent the last part of his exile in Pushkara. After the 12 years were over, Arjun returned to Kandavaprashra with Subhadra. But what would be the reaction of the queen, his wife, Draupadi?
Thank you for watching so far. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit the like button. If you're new here, please subscribe. This will ensure that more people can find this resource. Click the notification button so that you can be the first to know about new uploads. And please do comment below. I'll do my best to reply to any questions. Thank you.